Trojan Felly, what's up, man? USCJ here. It's the top of the morning. It's the top of the morning. Listen, I hope everybody is getting ready to get up, get out, and make some things happen this morning. Listen, Lincoln Riley, of course, you guys already know it's all over the internet right now. Lincoln Riley gave his press conference yesterday, and after the press conference, there's so many things, so many storylines that we got to talk about, we got to address. And the number one thing is, I think, coming out of this press conference is the fact that Lincoln Riley is in this for the long term, for the long haul. And look, he's here to stay. He's here to build this program. He's here to enhance this program, to make it the USC football that USC once had. Now, here's one of the things that I want to address. You guys already know, whether it was the Dan Patrick Show, so many different shows, so many different outlets, the past couple of weeks, made all types of, when Lincoln Riley was out, they said Lincoln Riley was putting fillers in for the NFL. Lincoln Riley was possibly looking at becoming all types of coach, the Bears coach, the Raiders coach. We've heard all types of situations and all types of rumors that were out there in reference to Lincoln Riley. Now, yesterday, you could see it on his face. You could see it that he was extremely hurt over the firing of Alex Grinch. And as I told you guys before, Lincoln Riley is extremely close to Alex Grinch. This was a difficult decision for him. But here's the thing that I wanted. These families are very close. The families are close. The kids are close. He alluded to it yesterday. I've talked about it after a live that this is a difficult decision, but it's a decision that he has to make. And one of the things that really crossed my mind as he was talking about this yesterday was the fact that he's here to stay. It's no reason for us to even consider the fact that he's possibly going to the NFL anymore. At least not anytime soon. Otherwise, you wouldn't destroy a relationship that you have. And from my understanding, they're godparents of these kids. The relationship is that close. So when you look at a situation like that, and you listen to Lincoln Riley talk, another thing is, you hear people all over the media that Lincoln Riley has never had good defenses. Well, he's never had the defensive staff in front of him, and those teams don't have toughness. The Oklahoma teams, the USC teams. Well, here's the thing I want to say. Lincoln Riley is only 40 years old. I think we got to consider that first. Number one, 40 years old. That's the first thing. Most of the coaches that have had great success, whether it's Kirby Smart, whether it's Dabo Swinney, whether it's Nick Saban, especially like Nick Saban, he's already had to cross this path before. He's had coaches come and go. He's probably, let coaches go. He's been in a situation where he's had to make tough decisions. Lincoln Riley, being as young as he is, and have one who's had as much success as he's had, he's never had to cross this decision. He's had enough success in his career to where he's been able to just be borderline right there. It kind of camouflaged the defensive deficiencies. He's never had to really address it like that. Well, now he's had to, given the fact that which took place this year with the Washington. I mean, because he's been to the playoffs with Alex Grinch. He's been won the Big 12 conference with Alex Grinch. So he's never had to cross this line. He's never had to cross this road. And it's not until you cross this road and to number one that you grow up. That grow up and become a mature coach in the aspect of having to make tough decisions. None of us have to want to make decisions like that, especially when it's with somebody you love, somebody you got big love for. And so that's one of the points that I want to point out. Lincoln Riley has officially took that step. Listen, we cannot go back on the past or go back on some of the things that, he had, the issues that you guys consider, some consider of him having issues with. Lincoln Riley has officially made that step, a step that a lot of people said that he wasn't going to do. A lot of people thought that, look, he's going to sync with Alex Grinch, all that. Look, that's out of the window now. That's behind us. And he's officially took that step, and now he's moving and grooving in a direction that a lot of us thought about. I want you guys to consider this, and I'm going to talk about some other things as it relates to his comments in his press conference. Have you ever in your life, I want you guys to put it in your mind frame, have you ever in your life knew that you had to get rid of somebody, but understood well, knew that you had to get rid of somebody. Let me say that. And knew that they were bad for you at the same time. But because the relationship was so tight, you just hung in there with it, and you just kind of hung along, and it just kind of dragged it along, but really never addressed it. And because at the end of the day, in the off season, everything's good. The families are good. Everybody's fellowshipping together. Everybody's hanging together. Have you ever had a situation like that? But then reality kicks back in once the season starts. But then you were just good enough to kind of get by. But now the rubber meets the road, and now you're not that good enough to get by. And everybody, the whole media's, and now you're really able to see it. Sometimes it takes a little more for others to see, how bad they really are. It takes longer for some others. And so now he's crossed that road. And so I think that USC and Lincoln Riley, we know that the pressure was on. LA media is totally, totally different. But here's what I want to look at. Let's take a look at some of the things that Lincoln said. And I totally agree with him as it relates to this. This is his exact quote coming after the press conference. He said this. He says, we simply just weren't making progress. He says, I think we all expected it, we would make. And listen, we all know that Lincoln Riley is an offensive guy. But here's the thing. I'm not going to put all this on Alex Grinch either. I think it starts from the head all the way down. And I think there's some issues, there's some things that we got to address inside and out, especially as it relates to just toughness, man. We want guys to be physical. We want guys to be tough. We want guys to tackle. Sure, that comes from the defensive staff, but at the same time, we have to take ownership as it relates to just the tackling aspect, as the physical toughness aspect, putting the work inside the weight room, in and out of the weight room. But just listening to him yesterday, and how he addressed this, I believe that he's putting everything into full effect as far as putting his program on his shoulders. I think that Lincoln Riley is now about to establish himself as being one of the next level coaches, because we already know the offensive mindset that he has. He's proven that already. And the fact that he's coming now and says that we're going to play good defense, I think he's now taking that next step. Listen to what he says here. He says this yesterday. He says, we're going to play great defense. Period. It's going to happen. It's going to happen soon. There's no reason why we can't. So that was one of the things that he said yesterday. And then making reference to the opportunity that's before us. You guys already know. I said that I brought it out to you guys yesterday that USC is actually third right now in the Pac-12. USC, and Lincoln Riley says that. He says, and I know it's contrary to what a lot of people believe right now, as far as where we at playoff-wise. Not playoff-wise. We're out of the picture with that. But Pac-12-wise, we can still win. We can still play in the Rose Bowl if we went out. But he also talked about that yesterday, and he talked about how everybody can rally around a coach. I've seen it before. I brought it to you guys, those who didn't watch me yesterday. Guys can rally around a guy like Coach Newell, Coach Odom, and these guys can really put together a product that this weekend can really blow a team like Oregon out of the water. I'm not saying blow them out, but just really shock them, the shock-wise, because they can just get up for this game, and it can be on and popping, on and cracking. But listen, part of that's going to be up to the coaches, their game planning and what they do. But then part of that's going to be to the players. What type of pride do we want to come out with? Because I'm going to tell you right now, athlete for athlete, we match up good with anybody. We're athlete for athlete. We're just as good as anybody that we're on the field with. And I can guarantee you, if we play with pride and depending upon, provided that we get the right scheme this Saturday, whether it's whatever base defense is, whether it's a 4-3, whatever it is, zone, whatever they decide to come up with, we add pressure to Bo Nix. And I'm gonna get into this Oregon preview this week. But we can really win these two games. If we win these two games, we could be in position to really play for a Pac-12 championship, man. So, look, you guys hit me in the comment section. You guys tell me what you think. I think Lincoln Riley is in this thing for the long haul. Otherwise, I don't think he would have made that move, firing his buddy, good friend, Alex Grinch. I can go as far as to say they possibly may be best friends. I mean, that's how tight they are. And so That is not an easy decision, but I respect them. I respect them for actually doing it. So now the USC family can move on. We don't have to see all of the hate Alex Grinch videos anymore from everybody, man. Now we could just try to move on and try to get this defensive coordinator that we need. And listen, man. And whatever, hey, God bless Alex Grinch, man. Hey, I pray for his success, man. I personally, I don't dislike Alex Grinch as a person at all. I just don't like his defensive scheme. That's where I'm at with it, man. So look, man. Until later on, listen. I'm out of here, man. Everybody stay blessed. We will continue to have information as the week unfolds as it relates to Oregon because we got to prepare for that. We got to put our minds on that. It's time to start transitioning into the Oregon game. This is a very serious game. We need these players to be locked and loaded as it relates to Oregon this weekend, man. Forget about all this other stuff. I can guarantee you right now that they're getting their minds on Oregon right now. So look, man, until later on, everybody stay blessed. I'm out of here. Make sure you get up, get out, and make some things happen. Fight on, fight on, fight on.